Inheriting your parents' estate between the age of 55 and 65 can have a big impact on your retirement, both positive and negative. The difference depends on preparation. Without planning, the money that your mom and dad leave you has the potential to derail your retirement with massive tax bills and piles of paperwork. But with proper planning, it can be the blessing that your parents intended it to be. Let me show you some strategies on how to inherit money smartly to make your mom and dad proud. I'm Brad Lineberger, certified financial planner and founder of Seaside Wealth Management, and I'm here to help you create peace around the issue of money, both now and in retirement. I'm passionate about coaching people on the topic of finances, and that's why I create these videos. In this video, I'm going to coach you on how to inherit your parents' assets without derailing your financial plan or overpaying on taxes in the process. If you're a high-income earner between the age of 55 and 65, have an elderly parent with assets that you're going to inherit, then keep watching as you're going to learn some strategies on how to build generational wealth in a tax-efficient manner. Walter's our client. He's 57 years old, he's married to Janice, and they've got 4 kids. They live in San Diego, California. Multi-generational planning is really important to Walter, and he's part of the sandwich generation. He's got an aging mom who's 89 years old, and he's got adult kids who are coming back to the house. Walter's an executive at Viasat, and he's in the 35% tax bracket. Walter came to me and he was in a pickle. His mom, Gloria, is 89 years old, and she's still living independently in a 2-story home, and she's having to walk upstairs to the master bedroom and bathroom. And it's getting harder for Gloria to walk up and down the stairs to get to her room. So Walter was coming to me because he needs to figure out how to manage mom. He was thinking about selling her home. And I said, whoa, absolutely not, Walter. Stop. This is a ticking tax time bomb waiting to happen. Because mom bought the home in 1974 for $27,000. And over the years, she put $173,000 into it. She did a bathroom, a couple of bedrooms, a kitchen. But her adjusted cost basis was about $200,000. And today the home is worth about $2,332,000. Since she's lived in the home for 2 out of 5 years, she's eligible for the Section 121 exclusion of $250,000. And we assume that if she were to sell her home, it'd be about 6% cost to sell the home. So she'd walk with a little less than $2.2 million, but this would result in a $1,750,000 tax bill. Well, I shouldn't say tax bill, but a gain of $1.75 million. And I said, Walter, you cannot do this. You can't do this for your mom or your family. And so together we started exploring strategies of what should Walter do to not have to pay that rather large tax bill that was going to come with a gain of $1.75 million on selling the home. So how do we do this? Let me jump into the situation here. So we do multi-generational financial and tax planning here at Seaside. And so Walter came to me with his mom, and we took a look at her situation, net worth of about $4.7 million. And you could see that it's broken up. She does have an IRA that she inherited when her husband passed away, when Walter's dad died. But then she also has a trust account. And in the trust account, cost basis is about $300,000. So there's another roughly $900,000 of gains in the trust. But the other portion of the net worth for Gloria, for Walter's mom, is coming from her home. And here we are. It's valued at $2.32 million. And this is exactly what Walter was thinking about selling. And so as we looked at it, we started breaking down the numbers. And this is the process we went through to show Walter not to sell the home. And then we strategized on creative ways to help mom figure out how to solve this. We took her tax return. This is the 2024 tax projection without selling the house. And then the column in the middle is the 2024 tax projection with selling the house and realizing $1,750,000 in taxable gain. And we're going to compare the two options here. You could see that she's taking Social Security income. So she does have Social Security. A bulk of it is taxable. She's also taking required minimum distributions from her IRA. And we noticed that the IRS is forcing her to take out more in the required minimum distribution than she even needs to spend. And the strategy that Walter's mom should have done back in her 60s when they retired in those gap years before Social Security and required minimum distributions kicked on, she should have done Roth conversions in her gap years, but she didn't. We've got a video on that if you want to learn more. And so the other thing that we'll show, so here, this is the long-term capital gains of the sale of the home. And you can see that's the real big impact on the tax plan. So as we go down here, we can see that without selling the home, Gloria's taxable income would be about $164,000. But with selling the home, it would be almost $1.9 million, about $1,866,000 to be exact. And so from a tax perspective, take a look at what that does. After we back out the standard deduction for Gloria, in the case where she's not selling her home, the taxable income is about $133,000 versus $1.83 million were she to sell her home, resulting in a tax bill without selling the home of only $15,510, keeping Gloria in the 12% tax bracket. In the scenario where she sells her home, the tax bill is almost $415,000, which is just about $400,000 more than if she didn't sell the home. And that's just on the federal side. What happens when we incorporate the state of California? Let's take a look there. The additional tax liability for selling the home is the total tax liability is $195,000, which is about $193,000 more than it would have been. So combined, the decision to sell the home would result in a tax bill of right around $600,000. And we said, absolutely not. So as Walter started to see the numbers and understand, he started to get the idea. And we explained that the reason why we don't want to sell the home is because when Gloria passes, Walter's going to qualify for what's called the step up in cost basis. So mom's cost basis of $200,000 gets stepped up to the market value on the date of death of whatever the home's valued. And today it's about $2.32 million. So at that point in time, Walter inherits the home. His new cost basis is the current market value. So he's free to sell the home, realize all the gains, and pay nothing in taxes. This was huge. Walter's mind was blown. Okay. So then we started to strategize on, well, if we can't sell the home to help solve this for mom, what do we do to help her age in place? And she had some options here. She could move to an assisted living facility and rent the home. She could look into a reverse mortgage, which we wanted to help avoid doing that. But what she ended up doing, we talked through the possibilities of either putting a stair lift on the stairs. So it's kind of like a little chair that she could sit in and then go up and down the stairs. My great-grandmother actually did this, and it was great. I've got memories of sitting in her lap and riding up the stairs. It was actually really fun. I was a little guy. But the other option was to remodel the downstairs bathroom and put a bathtub and make it so that she could move into the downstairs bedroom, but just add a fully functioning bathroom on the first floor. And after meeting with contractors and weighing the options, that's what Walter decided to do for his mom. He decided to put the bathroom on the first floor so she could have a place to bathe and she could age in place, move everything down to the first floor. The next question was, how do we fund the bathroom remodel? And Walter's first instinct was, well, let's take money out of the trust because mom's paying long-term capital gains on that trust account of 15%. And I said, hold on, Walter. Part 2 of this exercise, we need to think through the inheritance because if Walter were to inherit his mom's IRA and he has 10 years to take money out of the IRA, as an executive in the 35% tax bracket, that's a really expensive distribution from the IRA. So we showed Walter, well, what if mom took money out of the IRA? In fact, mom is being forced to take out more money than she even wants because of the large required minimum distributions. So to the tune of about $30,000 extra. What if we took an additional $30,000 out of mom's IRA to help fund the bathroom remodel project, which was going to come to about $60,000? And so that scenario is right here, where we took an additional $30,000 out of the IRA to fund the bathroom. And so what you see here is the extra distribution from Gloria's IRA, bringing the total up to $107,500, resulting, so in this scenario, she did not sell the home. She just took a little bit extra out of the IRA in order to pay for the remodel. And her total income did go up, of course, because the distribution was larger. And the total tax bill went to $22,606, about $7,000 more than the original scenario where she didn't sell the home. So yes, this put her in the 22% tax bracket, but it only resulted in an extra $7,000 of taxes. So ultimately, what we found is that it was better for mom to take money out of her IRA at her 22% tax bracket and prevent Walter from taking money out of the IRA after mom's passing at the 35% bracket. So when we look at the big picture and we look at multi-generations and we look at the whole family and we do multi-year tax projections, this is a tax arbitrage. We're really saving money. And as we explored it further, what we ended up doing over the years was having mom take out even more than the $30,000 each year. And so this enabled Gloria to age in place. She ended up hiring someone to help come and clean the house. She didn't want to do this at first, but after a few months, she said, this is great. She ended up hiring someone to come help cook a few meals each week. And again, a little reluctant at first, but then after trying it for a few months, she really liked it. It really helped to kind of ease her burden and help her age in place. This helped Walter to be more relaxed about his mom's situation as he was comfortable that she was comfortable. And from a tax planning perspective, we started to slowly, systematically drain the IRA to preserve the step up in basis on the trust account. So when Gloria ended up passing away 3 years later, Walter received the home fully free and clear from a tax perspective, and he also received the step up in basis on the trust account, thereby saving him about $850,000 in taxes that otherwise would have had to have been paid had Gloria done what most people do, which is either sell the home or sell the trust, basically sell assets without putting thought into being strategic about which assets to sell first and which to sell second, and so on and so forth. So by putting a little thought into this, we were able to help Walter and Gloria save close to $1 million in taxes. And the great news is that Walter's original plan was to retire at 65. Now that he was able to receive the inheritance smartly, he was able to retire at age 60, and he was thrilled about that. Sorry to lose his mom, of course, but he was able to turn it into a blessing. Now let me take you through Walter's situation and how we showed him how to take it from good to great. Walter was initially planning to retire at age 65 when he was Medicare eligible. Gloria ended up passing away when Walter was 60, and the $850,000 of tax savings allowed Walter to propel into retirement 5 years early. He was so excited that he was able to retire while he was young enough and in good enough health to do the activities he loved, like paddleboarding and skiing. Plus, the tax savings allowed Walter and Janice to realize a lifelong dream of purchasing a second home in the mountains. This home became a gathering spot for family as the kids and grandkids loved to spend time with Walter and Janice in the mountains. In this way, they could honor the legacy of Walter's parents by having a family home for generations to come. If you have goals and aspirations of being like Walter and making smart moves around inheritance while saving the most in taxes, there's a link in the description below to talk with me. Get in touch with our office and schedule an introductory call with Seaside today. You can also keep watching to learn how you can make your retirement dreams come true. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.